Welcome back to the second video on how to use YouTube ads, your first campaign to win business. So without further ado, let's get straight into designing your ad.
Now we come through to the design your ad section, but one thing, interesting thing to note is that over here on the estimated views and your daily budget, you'll see that now you're still estimated to get 300 to 400 views a day, but the actual ad impressions, when the video actually shows up on someone's feed, if you like, that figure has now changed to a lower figure of just under 900. So as I said earlier, don't get hung up on these figures, they're only estimates. So let's get on with designing the ad, and we've got the choice of adding in the headline and 2 description lines, and you've also got a choice of picking one of these 4 thumbnail images. So let's go to the headline first. Now I'm going to enter, or I did enter previously, how to get the best free marketing tools in one place. Now that was a bit of a mouthful and the headline was too long. In fact, you limited to about 38 characters. So that's why I've whittled it down to best free marketing tools in one place. And that seems to fit quite well. And the other thing about these headlines and the description lines is I want to put in something where the viewer feels as though that the video is going to provide them with some sort of benefit. So again, this comes back to brushing up on your copywriting skills, or certainly implementing any copywriting lessons or courses you've been on to focus on the benefits for the viewer rather than any features. Next, we went to the description line to, again, I put in save yourself time by having all your resources in one place. Again, bit of a mouthful, and I've whittled that down to handy tools to save you time. And the description line number 2, I originally put in start achieving your online goals without delay, and that's now been whittled down, achieve your online goals. And whilst the headline is restricted to 38 characters, I think you'll find that the description lines are restricted to about 33 characters. And just to put your mind at rest, if you're finding this a bit nerve-wracking when you go through setting up your campaign, your ad, you can cancel or edit your campaign at any time, even after the campaign has launched. So it's just something to bear in mind, and if you're getting a bit overwhelmed at any stage, you've always got the safety net of stopping the campaign. And again, we'll come across instances of that further on in this video. Once we're happy with all that, oh, by the way, we can also choose the thumbnail image, as I said, so I think I've chosen this one here. So let's click the next step, and there's a helpful message here. It says, now that you've created your video ad campaign, the setup process is nearly finished. Next, sign into AdWords to complete the final steps and start your campaign. And you'll also see this monitor up here, tell you where you are in the process. You've done the budget, you've done the design, and now we're on the final steps. So let's click the blue sign into AdWords button. Select your AdWords account. You'll find the ID number to the right of the titles here. Now this is where things might get slightly confusing. If you've already got an AdWords account and you've already got your credit card number, then you may well come through to this page here. If not, if you haven't set up an AdWords account, then you'll just go through a simple process of putting in your credit card number and then coming through to this page here. Now, again, don't be alarmed by that. Your card won't be debited with any costs or charges until you actually activate the ad campaign, and obviously for any future ad campaigns. So again, nothing to worry about. It's just part of the process. Right then, let's deal with this page now. The other thing is as well, it looks as though you're going to duplicate some of the stuff that you've already gone through. But again, just bear with it, and we'll go through each step and we'll get through to getting your first ad campaign up and running. So let's run through this then. Your first campaign, to create a campaign, you'll set a budget, choose your audience, and write your ad. Bear in mind that you won't be charged for selecting options, and you can always make changes later. So again, YouTube themselves are making it as easy as possible and also putting people's mind to rest, especially as they're aware that first campaign, or first anything, can be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience. So let's work our way through it. Your budget, well, we've already determined that we want to spend £5. So it's £5 in there. And again, you can always change the amount, but also obviously if you're, make sure that you are in the right currency wherever you're residing. So click the blue button, blue save button, choose a target audience. Again, already gone through this and it's come up with the United Kingdom as a default. But as you know, I'm going to put in United States. Still have to put in United Kingdom, believe it or not. United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland as locations. Save that. The next option to choose is networks. So we've got the display network already ticked here, but we want to just untick that box here and click save. Now we come to the keywords that we want to enter. Now we obviously want to make sure that the keywords are people generally looking for tools to use in their internet marketing business. And beforehand, you should have done a little bit of research just by going into Google Keyword Planner tool or another keyword tool that you may be using. And for this purpose, I'm going to use 3 keywords: internet marketing tools. Click add, and to now key in online marketing tools, and I'm going to key in video marketing tools. Click add. I'm also going to remove these suggested keyword terms because they don't really play any relevance whatsoever. Now it does say up here add around 15 to 20 keywords, but for the purpose of this exercise I'm just going to use 3 for now. So let's click the blue save button. Now the next option to choose is bid. AdWords automatically sets your bids to help you get as many clicks as possible within your budget. Well, we've already set the budget to a daily budget, so let's click on it anyway. And again, you need to keep your wits about you here because YouTube obviously want you to spend as much money as possible with them. And it says here, we recommend having AdWords automatically set your bids to begin with. Yeah, right, okay. Well, fortunately we've got the option, I'll set my bids manually. So click on that, and again, suggested bid amount for your budget. Well, let's put in £5 there, and let's click save. And then the next part is write your ad. Again, it's coming back to the landing page, the headline 1 and 2, and this is all sort of duplicating what we've already done before. So I'm just going to get to the headline again. Best free marketing tools in one place. You can see I've put in best free marketing tools in one place, and it comes, if you have a look over here, it comes up with the title there. Slightly different to what we did earlier in this video. And then we just enter in a description, and it actually suggests to you, gives you some tips for writing your ad. Use a clear call to action, include at least 1 keyword, capitalize the first letter of every word, and include specific prices or promotions. So in the description, I'm going to actually key in what we keyed in before. Remember, we had 2 description lines. I'm going to put in handy tools to save yourself time and achieve your online goals. Click save, and then click save and continue. Payment profile, and here we are through to the next page. It's actually where you put in your payment details. You may recall I did say that I thought we may have missed the payment section, but obviously it comes in at this stage. So just make sure that everything looks okay. Payment information, introductory offer. Over here it's got daily potential reach of 1+ clicks. Okay, well, we're just testing this for now anyway. Daily budget of £5 and a default bid of £5. That's wrong, that figure. I've obviously made a mistake there. That is the cost per click that you want to bid on. So let's now move on further down the screen. Payment profile, come up with your ID number, gives you the type of business. Just enter in your name and address details. Tells you who your contact is, how to pay, and then the payment method. So you've got a choice between credit or debit card, or you can add in your bank details. There's an option for bank details. You want to pay by bank transfer, electronic transfer. So then we click the blue finish and create ad button. And then you come to this message here which says, congratulations on your new AdWords account. You've taken your first step towards reaching new customers. While we're approving your ad, which takes about a day, take these next steps to help you get the best results. So you've got a few options you can go through there. And that is basically it for setting up your first ads campaign. So what you want to do is click on this blue button here, go to your account, which brings you back to this screen here. So click on the relevant account that you want. Don't forget your ID numbers are to the right of this screen, out of shot here. We'll then come to a page like this where you've got this pop-up box here. Welcome to your AdWords account. Let's go over a few tasks essential to your AdWords success, and then click the Get Started button. So if you followed the campaigns page tutorial, just clicking on next, this is quite helpful. But I'm going to pause this campaign now. So I've gone into campaigns, and over here you'll see you've got an option here we go into the campaign. Because I've already done another test, I'm going to stop on this one and move it from enable to pause, and that means that the status is pausing or has paused, and which more importantly means that my account won't be debited with the £5 a day. So hope you found these steps useful. That's it for now, and when you do get to this stage and you're waiting, just keep an eye on it, and then you can go in and change the date from being open-ended to restricting it to just a 1 day or 2 days or 4 days or whatever you want. So good luck with your YouTube ads campaigns.
Hope you find those steps useful. Here's a link for you to download your free copy of the top 10 tips for beginners to YouTube ads. You'll also find the URL link in the description box below this video. Thanks for watching. Look out for the next video on the YouTube video ads campaign, and don't forget to watch out for the next video on video marketing and YouTube coming your way next week. Enjoy. Until next time, bye for now.